Hey guys, you're probably wondering, Joey, why are you re-uploading videos? Are you getting bored? Are you running out of ideas? No, I'm not. The problem with this episode was there was originally supposed to be a lot more voices in this episode. However, for some reason I decided to rush the upload and the voices didn't get to me on time. And I've been feeling really bad about it because I know I had some people that were very excited to voice in this episode. So I'm re-uploading this episode again with the extra people who wanted to voice, like Shane, Tommy, and a few other people that I know. So without further ado, please enjoy.
Henry the Green Engine was delivering a train to Croven's Gate. Once he delivered it, he set off to find a turntable to turn around. He found one and approached the turntable with decent speed, but as he approached, his driver forgot to throw on the brakes to slow him down and reverse the regulator before Henry could stop. A loud clank was heard and Henry shuddered to a halt, unable to move. The sudden change in direction without stopping heavily damaged Henry's regulator, causing the gear to break in his system. Henry was furious.
Oh, ouch! Who put me in reverse?
I'm so sorry, old boy. Forgot to stop you.
Are you daft? How could you make me change direction without stopping me first?
It was an accident. Oh dear. Regardless, there's no way we can fix you here. We're gonna have to get you to the works.
Bogo was down the line and shunted Henry into the works next to Oliver, who was nearly finished with his overhaul. Henry's wheels made an awkward clanking noise as he moved. Broken regulator.
Is it that obvious?
Afraid so. I recognize that noise from when it happened to me. Isn't that right, Isabel? It was my first day. I know, just teasing.
Never mind, Henry. It happens to the best of us.
It's embarrassing. Duck made a fool out of me with those tenders. Now my regulator is broke.
Well, I'll admit, you deserved the tenders, but your driver was just careless.
What about his tenders?
Don't ask.
Calm yourself, Henry. Besides, it's not like you're making a bad first impression or anything.
But as Boko tried to comfort Henry, two large diesels approached them from the main line. The one in front scoffed as he saw Henry and Oliver. Before the others could introduce themselves, he insulted them.
Ugh! I thought my inspector was having me on for a laugh when he told me about this island was ran by steam locomotives. Why on earth does your controller employ such out-of-date objects?
That's a funny way to say hello.
Don't mind him, he's a bit of a snob. I'm 7101, and my belligerent acquaintance here is 199. Glad to meet you all.
Seems like we have a devil and angel situation here.
Wait a minute. I recognize you. You escaped from the yard at Barrow with that Scot. You're lucky I wasn't there to stop him. I took you straight to the scrapyard where you belong.
Then why don't you take me then, oil pan?
Maybe I will.
Bug off, you big blue whale. We don't tolerate behaviors like yours.
Oh, but they have failed engines here. I've heard all about your stories of when you first arrived. You only lasted this long because you were rebuilt. And even now I can see you still failed.
That's enough!
Be off with you!
Boko bellowed at the diesel, and he soon did. Big and small diesels are all the same, loud, smelly scoundrels. Or, maybe not all the same. Sorry, Boko.
It's alright. I understand your frustration. I also can't stand diesels like them, although the smaller one didn't seem bad at all.
Well, the bigger one wasn't exactly wrong.
Oh, cheer up, Henry. It's not about how one falls, it's how you get back up that matters.
Indeed. Oliver can attest to that, I'm sure. Oh, very funny, Isabel. Nighttime was looming down across Sodor, and it's needless to say that 199 didn't exactly make a good first impression with the others.
It's high time, 7101,
High time for what?
that we took over this railway. With all these antique ovens here, it's a miracle we haven't been called here sooner.
Shush, 199. We're guests here. Besides, it's their railway after all.
I could give a toss if this is their railway. Besides, our controller always tells us steam engines spoil our image.
Of course we do. We show what frauds you are. Whenever the slightest fault happens to you, you simply whine and moan for a fitter.
Quite right. We have determination. We bring our trains home, if only on 2 wheels or with a crooked boiler.
My oh my! With incidents like those, it's truly no wonder we're needed.
Be careful, 199. Many can tell you that tempting fate never ends well.
Nonsense! Unlike you all, we are reliable. And most of all, we are revolutionary.
199's remark was greeted with wheeshing and scowls.
Ugh! How rude!
You asked for it, now shut up.
The morning rose upon Sodor, and with it came a busy day for all the engines during the summer. The engines were being fired up for the day of work. The crews prepared the fireboxes, cleaned out the previous day's ash, and primed the injectors with water. A fairly standard process for steam engines, but 199 scoffed as the process seemed amusing to him.
So much work, so little time. Your crews must have gotten so little sleep since they had to wake up so early just to start you all. For us, all it takes is a fill of oil, a turn of the key, and poof, we're off.
You know, I'm sensing a theme here.
Puh! Who cares? We certainly don't. So why is it you keep talking?
Just reminding you kennels of the inevitable.
Then let me remind you of something, 199. Though it is acceptable to be proud of one's quirks and advantages, it is unacceptable to boast about it, nor is it acceptable to put others down because of it. The sooner you get rid of your boastful mentality, the longer you will last on my railway. Understood?
Yes,
I apologize about him, sir. He's just as proud of an engine as he is. 199 will soon make himself a valuable member, as I'm sure he's eager to do.
Ho ho ho. Well said, 7101. Now, there is a long train of petrol at the harbour that needs to be taken to the big station. 199, you are to take it.
excuse me, sir. A goods train?
Yes? Is there a problem?
Well, of course. I am an express diesel. I meant to pull coaches along the main line, not dirty trucks from dirty harbors.
You will do the work that you are given. If you truly are the future of railways, Then you should have no problem handling a simple freight train, right? Very well. As for you, 7101, also at the harbor is an express train departing that will be carrying passengers from a vacationing ocean liner called the Limited. It will depart at 11, and I want you to pull it.
I'll do my best, sir.
Wait! So you give the mixed traffic diesel the express train, and the express diesel the goods train? I demand we swap duties. We should switch trains, sir.
You will do the work I assign. Now go on. Though under heavy protest, 199 chortled away to the harbor, and albeit with a few splutters. The harbor was busy and noisy. Engines were puffing in and out non-stop. 199 whinged about the noise and especially the smell as he backed onto his train.
What a disgusting and noisy place.
It's a bloody harbor. What do you expect? Flowers to smell and choirs to sing?
I expect to be treated according to what I am. I am an express diesel, not a filthy freight engine such as yourself.
Look, I know that this railway is quite a bit jarring for you,
Putting it lightly.
but I'll be the first to tell you that boastful engines don't make it far on this island. I see a lot of my old self in you.
Preposterous! How could a disheveled mess such as yourself relate to me? You kiddles must stop trying to plague me with pointless lectures.
It's no use wasting your breath on him, James. Every lad's just got to learn this lesson for himself. That's just how it is these days.
In that case, I agree.
As 199 spluttered off to his destination, he began to make rather obscene noises. His motor involuntarily whined louder and louder. The driver noticed his temperature rising in his cab. Something's wrong. Your motor's getting too hot. You're gonna have to stop so I can check.
Oh, poppycock! No time for dawdling.
But as 199 went further down the line, his driver only got more and more concerned as his motor whined louder and louder. Right, that's it. I'm halting this train. But before the driver could fully stop the train, 199's engine coughed and spluttered to a stop on the upper line before white smoke flew out of his cooling fans.
British Railways happened!
He broke down. Don't you understand that, you silly great engine? You're now blocking the main line. We'll have to wait for help to get you out of the way. 199 just growled under his breath as he waited helplessly on the line. Henry's repairs were finished. There wasn't a turntable at the works, so Henry just traveled down the line in reverse.
What's the matter, old boy? You can move faster, can't you?
I know. I just can't stop thinking about what that diesel said.
Don't think of him. He's just full of his own fumes.
But I was indeed a failed engine. I never steamed right, and I got into an awful crash. The only reason why I'm still around is because the Topham Hatt took pity on me. I'm only as good as I am now because I was rebuilt.
Rubbish! You always tried your hardest despite your faulty build. Being rebuilt allowed you to thrive, and that's what matters. You are not a failed engine anymore, and... Henry, old boy, you won't believe this.
And indeed he couldn't. As Henry rolled next to 199, the signalman blew his whistle to catch his attention. Henry, thank goodness. For pity's sake, take this spam can away. It's broken down. The limited express is due through here shortly, but the diesel can't do anything but wail for his fitter.
Spam can? Why, you arrogant old...
Do it, or I will take my bloody tin opener to you. Henry was most delighted at the signalman's comments. Could you please clear the line for the limited, Henry?
I'll do you one better. I'll take this spam can where he needs to go.
And so Henry did. He changed tracks, buffered up to 199, and pulled the train off the line.
Who's old reliable now?
Not long after, 7101 rushed by with the limited, a growling and a roaring as he did.
Look, Spam Can, it's your little pal, 7101. I'm sure he'd hate to see you in such a state.
But 7101 didn't have time to notice. He was having troubles of his own. Diesel engines have something called a transmission, which converts power from the motor to the wheels. 7101's transmission was newer and hadn't been thoroughly tested for tough situations like steep hills or heavy trains. As 7101 began to climb Gordon's Hill, his motor had to make a significant amount of power to climb it, but his transmission was failing to power his wheels appropriately. 7101 tried harder and harder to climb the hill, but as his motor whined louder still, crash! His motor overheated and his head gaskets blew off, allowing oil to drip all over. 7101 was stuck. As Henry made it further up the line with the broken spam can in his train behind him, another signalman waved Henry down. I've received a call from up the line. 7101 is broken down with the limited.
How ironic! I thought they would be laughing at me! What a joke indeed!
Moving 2 dead diesels? That's no joke for a failed engine. Do you think you can do it?
Well, I'll give it a jolly good try. I'd like to help 7101 anyway. He seems a lot more kinder than the old spam can down there.
Very well then. We mustn't keep the passengers waiting.
Get moving, you!
Henry buffered up to the back of the limited. His driver and fireman connected the brake pipes.
Turns out it's not as bad as we thought. 7101 has lost a tremendous amount of oil, but his crew have tried their best to reassemble his head gaskets, meaning his engine can function ever so slightly. We'll still have to carry most of the weight, but it's still support nonetheless.
Well, that's a mercy, but I'm ready to show just how enterprising I really am.
Are you ready?
Peep, peep, yes I am.
A crew laid out sand beneath Henry's wheels to provide extra grip. As the sand crunched away, Henry ascended up the hill ever so slowly.
Oh, come on! Up the hill, up the hill!
Henry chanted. The rescue tested his will and fortitude. But eventually, 7101 began to crest the hill. Then eventually, he went over the other side, beginning his descent. The coaches swiftly followed, allowing the weight to slowly pull the train down, allowing gravity to assist Henry.
I've done it! I've done it!
We did it! We did it!
The two chanted as Henry continued on. It was still an arduous task for Henry. Slowly but surely, moving 2 diesels and their trains. But unwilling to give up, he pressed on. He pressed on to Croak, where Donald and Flying Scotsman were there to relieve him. Why, I'll be darned. That Henry really was pushing 2 diesels and their trains. He is indeed. Well done, Henry. Henry was too knackered to respond, but he left off a little feeble smile. The passengers erupted from the coaches in a wave of fury and anger, complaining about what a bad railway it was. Until Sir Topham Hatt stepped out of Flying Scotsman's cab and quelled the anger of the passengers. Their complaints soon turned to congratulations as they heard of Henry's rescue and showed their appreciation to Henry by thanking him. Wow, you'd think I was never here by how many people love Henry. Aye, but it's bloody well deserved. That Henry's a hero. The passengers were even more delighted to see Flying Scotsman backing down on their train to take them the rest of the way, to which he swiftly did. The Fat Controller stayed behind to speak his mind to 199. It's clear to me that you are not the engine I need on my railway. You've been a nuisance in more ways than one, and for that, I would like you to return to the other railway. Your time is up. I will write my views later.
As you wish, sir.
And just like that, the diesel left with a rather loud rumble. With this departure, Donald took his tankers where they needed to go. And Henry shunted 7101 to the works.
I'm sorry about 199 and the trouble he caused.
Oh, that's alright. It wasn't you who caused it. I heard that you shut him up in the sheds last night.
I did, but I'm also sorry about making a fool of myself today.
Never worry about that. A failed transmission can happen to any diesel. Before I was rebuilt, I couldn't build Didnt Fire because of my firebox.
Really?
Yes, and before I came to your rescue, my regulator had broken. The bloody crack was louder than a gun's fire.
May have been loud, but probably not as loud as when my head gasket blew off. That was loud.
Then perhaps we should call you Bear. Your engine roars like one.
Bear. You know what? I think I like that.
And so the name has since stuck. Once 7101 was repaired, he received a new livery and the name Bear. Bear now works on the main line as a mixed traffic engine hauling both passengers and goods trains throughout Sodor. He also occasionally works on the branch lines if there is help that is needed. Bear is a willing, hard-working and driven engine who's now made himself a well-deserved spot on the Northwestern Railway. But around the same time, Oliver was completely overhauled and repaired, and would have quite the turbulent experience on the railway afterwards, but that's a story I'll tell for next time.